So I want to talk about this man that my sister is married to. So, long story short, my sister has been sick for some time now. And recently, the past 3 weeks, she's been in the hospital. I've been her caregiver, I would say, because I spent the most time with her. She first got sick, I was the one that started out with appointments and starting out taking her places and being there as much as I possibly could be. Well, here's the issue now. She just woke up. She was disoriented. I had just left her prior to Friday. And Saturday morning when she woke up, she was disoriented. Mind you, every day, she always asks for her sister, which is me. My mama gave birth to 3 girls. My oldest sister, I'm the middle girl, and we have a baby sister. And since this situation has been going on, me and her have developed a stronger bond. And that's just something that has happened with us being as close as we are now. She always asks for me. I'm able to get her to do what they are not able to get her to do, which somehow brought up some animosity to her baby girl, who seems to have been having a problem with me being able to get her to eat and drink when she couldn't. Let's start there. I know that it was a problem because every time that I would get her to do one of those things, she would be like, well, you wouldn't do it for me. Which it shouldn't have been mattering who's getting her to do it, long as it was getting done. So that was a problem for her. Never a problem for me because I felt like what was needing to be done was being done. Okay, let's start there. She woke up Saturday morning. She was disoriented. Usually she called me soon as she wake up. If we don't talk a day, she totally mad. Like she's not gonna have a good day if we don't start the day off talking. That's the type of bond that we have. So I called her that morning, didn't get an answer. I called her that evening after I hadn't heard from her all morning, and the baby girl answered the phone. So the baby girl answered the phone, and I'm like, hey, where my sister? And she was like, oh, well, she woke up and it just is bad. And I was like, what you mean? She woke up, it's bad. She was like, she disoriented. She can't remember nothing. She won't eat. She won't. And I'm like, how? So I was like, okay, well, I'm on my way. So the sickness that my sister had, it really was among the immediate family, meaning me, my baby sister, her husband, and she has 2 girls and a son. Of course, my sister, my person, our families, they know as well, right? Okay, so when I get there, the husband's sister is there. Mind you, they didn't even know what the sickness was. So they there, which is strange. And so I'm like, why you didn't call me? Like, because I'm confused. And she was like, well, she a nurse. And so we just called her so she could tell us, what to do. Tell y'all what to do. We need to get her to the doctor. Okay, so she was like, and so she won't eat and she won't drink anything. And they been trying to do it all morning. So I go over there by my sister. And I'm like, hey, I need you to drink. She drinks it instantly. But still, the disorientation is still there, right? This disorientation. So that's still there. So I'm like, okay, well, we gotta take her to the hospital. This is not nothing for nobody to just walk in that's not familiar with the situation to be telling y'all. So among that discussion, the sister of the husband says, you need to put her on hospice. And so I was like, hospice? I was like, doesn't hospice mean do not resuscitate? She was like, yeah, that does mean that, but it also means that you'll get free services for this, free service for that. I was like, but that's something that she always said she didn't want to do. So let's respect her wishes. The end of the conversation. I don't know what I missed before I got there, but this the moment about the hospice situation. Keep notes. So now she goes to the hospital. This time she goes to the hospital. The disorder, it never comes back. It never goes away. Mind you, she still know people. She still know names. She still know places. But you could tell that it was something different going on with her memory. And so, with that happening, a lot of things started to happen that usually didn't happen when she went to the hospital. And she ended up staying the longest time that she have been admitted, a couple of times. But this time she ended up staying 3 weeks, which was the longest time that she have ever been admitted. And so I'm still going every day. Mind you, I have a job, but let's just say 7 days a week, I'm going to see her 5 days a week. And the other 2 days, we're going to talk on the phone. But this time, it wasn't any talking on the phone. She wasn't even functioning the way that she should function, where she could hold a phone call. But she knew her phone was missing because she kept asking for her phone. Well, the husband took the phone and took the phone home. This time, she went to ICU. So ICU, you couldn't stay there, And mind you, before all of this escalated to it happening the way that it happened, he would stay there with her at night when she was in her right mind. And things was totally different when she was in her right mind. She could tell you if somebody may or may have not been mistreating her. She could tell you who came there, which she still could tell you who came there, but she wasn't on point like she usually had been. So I call myself being a good sister, being there for my sister, not for her husband or the daughter that's being rude the whole time, but for my sister because that's my sister. And moving right along, we get to the point where the doctor want to meet with the family. They're going to let her go home. So I walk in that day. I was supposed to meet there at 10:30. So I walk in that day and I'm like, hey, Cece. She like, hey, she called me my name. And I said, I love you. And she said, I love you too. And then she said, have you talked to the doctor? And I was like, no. I was like, but I heard your husband them, they discussed the hospice situation. She was like, hospice? I'm not doing hospice. I told y'all I'm not doing hospice. She said, I feel like hospice is death. This is her own words. This is how she felt about it. And so I said, well, his sister came over and they discussed it with each other. I told them that I didn't agree. So it was a disagreement because I didn't agree because I knew that's what you didn't want to do. So mind you, all us is supposed to be here at this set time. So now her husband walking in. And so he walks in and she says, like, do you want me to live? She was like, because I want to live. She was like, why wouldn't you want to resuscitate me? I don't want to do hospice. And he was like, oh, no, babe. Nobody never said nothing about hospice. I wouldn't dare. Nobody never said that. Mind you, this all he been talking about. Okay? Mind you, I'm not getting into it with them because I'm looking at the best interest for her. Like, I don't want to upset her. And I I can't make a decision, so I do have to let her know. So he acting like it never was discussed. And I said it was discussed. I was like, when your sister came, but your sister pointed you towards hospice because they put they mama on, hospice. Mind you, your mama was 90 years old. I want to fight for my sister. My sister said she wants to live and she chooses to fight, so we gonna fight. So I was like, and I really think the best thing for us to do is to go get a second opinion. Mind you, I've been saying this through the whole situation. We've been going through this since May. Okay? Doctor come in, tell her she got two choices. The second choice was to go home, get your body healthy enough so you can keep fighting. We choose option 2. But this time when she went to the hospital and she wasn't able to respond the way that she had been responding, he wasn't staying there. He had took her phone. He knew that she wasn't able to say what was what. And so this is where things start to change. This last time. She goes home. I'm there in the mornings, helping do what I can do. Sitting there while people go to work, people go to the store, people go smoke, cigarette, whatever they needed to do. I sat there like I always have. Now, the sisters wasn't even aware of the sickness until this last time the smartness came about. So I'm feeling like the smartness come about because you're mad because she listens to what I ask her to do. So that made things unhealthy between me and my niece, her daughter, because she began to envy me because I could get her mother to do things that she couldn't. So that relationship is bad now. The other part of the relationship is bad with the husband because he's trying to manipulate her into thinking that he's doing something else besides hospice when he knew that's what he still was planning on doing. Mind you, he didn't even know what a hospice was. He didn't even know that that existed. He didn't even have a good relationship with his sisters. But now, all of a sudden, the sister's in. Okay, cool. Let's just not do what she didn't ask us to do. So now we at home. Like I said, go there doing the same thing every morning, sitting there while everybody need to do what they need to do. So that Tuesday, I go home. I usually stay there until somebody is coming home because she does need somebody with her at all times. And I have been at somebody. Get home, get a text and a group message with my niece and my sister and the nieces. It's a couple nieces and my daughter as well. Get a text that say, hey, the home health lady says we need to use Vaseline, but in parentheses, she got her cousin name. And so I text back and was like, hey, when this came about, yeah, she gonna be the new home health lady. I called one of the people on the paper. I said the text back, the paper that your mama said she didn't want any of them people, yes. I called the people on the paper and it just so happened it happened to be my auntie, where my auntie worked. I text back and say this some bullshit. Y'all are doing everything that she didn't want y'all to do because she's not in the right state of mind. And it's not right. So she ended up calling me maybe like 15 minutes later. So when she called me, she said, what are you talking about? I said, you absolutely know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I said, y'all are doing all the things that she asked y'all not to do, and y'all only doing it because she's not in the right state of mind. She tells me, and that's the thing, she's not in the right state of mind. So it is what it is. And I don't got time. Well, you call my phone and you don't got time. And I said what I said. Y'all only doing this to her because of the situation. And it's not fair. Because the last state of mind where she was in her right mind, she asked y'all not to do something. And y'all are doing it to her because she is no longer to make those decisions. So it gets bad. I end up saying, well, I said what, after she told me she don't got time, I said, well, I said what the blank I said. And she said, well, I said what the blank I said. And I don't give a, and I told her she was a low down, spoiled, dirty, you know what, blank, 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 blank. So that went bad. That went to hell. So 10 minutes later, the dad called. So he called and was like, hey, what the hell you say to my daughter? She's very upset. I say, I'm very upset. He was like, well, I tell you what, you can't come over here no more. You can't see her no more. And I'm like, can't see my sister? So now I'm like, Mr. Molester, hey, do you really want to talk about it? I was like, because I know of the situation and I know what's going on, and I absolutely do know what's going on because I did that work for 3 years before I started working where I work now. Y'all trying to block me out. And I'm her advocate at this time. Here's the thing. You told me I couldn't come. The next day, your sister's sitting with my sister. My sister never even dealt with them people. She barely even seen them people. And she definitely didn't want them over her. He never even talked to them. And you're telling me I can't see my sister. Okay, so now I'm feeling like we seal it and net it off the color purple. You're going to separate somebody from who's basically been there more than you through the whole sickness. And because he's in charge of her life decisions, I'm unable to see my sister. And it's sad. And I'm mad. And I'm about to expose everything that I've been holding just because my sister is sick. Now this girl, his daughter, she is driving this lady car, my sister, that she never allowed her to drive. It seemed like they making preparations for the worst instead of fighting the fight. Here's the thing, you guys. We have to be careful who we leave in charge for the decision making if we can't make it. I know it's a touchy subject where you don't even think about it and it's the last thing that you want to think about, but think about somebody not fighting for you to the end. He's definitely not fighting for her because we could have been went to another center that offer way more options than what we're dealing with now that I've spoken on several times. He has good insurance. She has good insurance. This man would rather go get an uncertified person. This what's going on now. An uncertified person to come and sit with her that ain't had a day of training when I was just sitting there for nothing, for free. Because it was my sister. Never thought about a dime. Why would I want a dime? That's my sister. I lost a son. She helped me bury him. My baby was only 16 years old. That was the worst time of my life. And she stood by me. She stood for me when I couldn't stand for myself. So my loyalty to her is a different type of loyalty. But to sit back and watch somebody not fight for her, and I can't do anything about it. I'm not even financially stable to even consult a attorney, because what kind of rights could I possibly have when that's her husband? I've been voided out of a situation because I know too much. I've been voided out of a situation because I won't allow it to go on and not say something. So I get the message yesterday that I can come back and see my sister if I apologize. Apologize for what? What I'm apologizing for? I'm apologizing for telling you that that's something that she didn't want to do and you know it because she told you. So what could I possibly be apologetic for? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I've did nothing wrong but advocated for my sister. Now at the end of the day, it's not nothing that I could do. Absolutely nothing. If he tell me not to come to his house, and he said it, and the daughter said it while we was arguing. But to have me sit there, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, 7 months, every day, and decide one day that you're going to stop a sister from being with her sister and time is not on our hand is absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane. And I want the world to know that you make preparations for the ending and who you want to leave your fight with. Because if you don't get somebody worth fighting for you, then you could be in this same situation. I will be back with part 2, and I'll let y'all know what happened by the weekend. Follow, subscribe for the next update. Long live my baby, Chavan. See y'all later.